Hi everybody, welcome. This is a short video that I would love to give to you for Thanksgiving. So happy Thanksgiving. And I created this Yin Yoga practice just for this day. So this is going to be a short Yin practice that you can do. Really good for the morning, but specifically we're going to work on the organ pairs, the lung and large intestine. The lungs and large intestines are the organ pair associated with autumn. So we'll get into that, but let's start with our first pose, which is called supported fish pose. Now for this practice you're going to need a bolster, a blanket, and 2 blocks. For the supported fish pose, we're going to, now you can either use a bolster or 2 blocks for the fish pose. It's up to you. And 1 block is going to go at the end of the bolster, so your bolster's a little raised. And then you'll lay back like so. And I'm going to show you the other version. Okay, so if you would like a little bit more opening, a little bit more of a stretch, you can bring your 2 blocks. One the tall way and one the middle way. And then you'll lay back so that your shoulder blades are just, the bottom of your shoulder blades are touching the edge of the block, and the other block is for your head. So that's why that one's a little higher. Make sure the block is straight. And this is what supported fish looks like when you do it with blocks. So in Yin Yoga, we hold poses for a long time, for anywhere up to 3 to 5 minutes. And we oftentimes use a timer. So I'll be putting the timer on for 5 minutes. You'll be in this pose. So as you rest back here in fish pose, allow your breath to start to deepen. And I'll introduce the teachings for today. So this pose is going to stimulate the lung meridian. And this is an energy line, or in Yin Yoga we call it a meridian. It's an energy channel that's associated with specific qualities. So for the lungs, it's about your breath, your ability to take deep breaths, your lungs to be healthy, taking in air, taking in inspiration. And the large intestine is our way of eliminating waste. So this is both seen as metaphorically and quite physically. So you can think about what you'd like to eliminate from your life, what you'd like to let go of. You might also be connecting to a sense of inspiration as you breathe in, and expiration as you breathe out, letting go. And if you've never done any yin yoga before, it's not like restorative yoga, in that it's not a complete resting position. A lot of poses do take some effort, but the purpose of yin is to surrender. Yin means soft. Yin means letting go. And we're actually in yin season right now. And yang is the opposite of yin. It's fast, hot, active. And yang is the qualities of summer. So you can also think of it as seasons. And in yin time, it's darkness, soft, feminine. It's time to pull back from so much doing and experience being, conserving our energy. And when we come into a yin posture, we find an appropriate edge, meaning we find a version of the pose that we're not in pain in, that we're not going to be too uncomfortable. And then we resolve to be still. The third principle of yin yoga is that we stay for a while. And when we stay for a while, we allow the connective tissue around the bones, the joints, the cartilage to gently pull apart, pressurize and stress the connective tissue a bit, to stress the joints a bit on purpose. Okay, so you're going to slowly start to make your way out of this pose, supported fish. Roll to the side and take the props from out underneath you. And after we do a yin pose, we lay on our backs, or usually take a resting pose like this, and feel the rebound. So just noticing the chi. Chi is the word for energy. Notice the energy or the chi flow in your body and where you might feel some sensation now. And then slowly bend your knees. And let's go to our next pose, which is wide-kneed child's pose. A lot of yin yoga poses have the same names as regular yoga poses that you know from hatha yoga. So we'll do this for 5 minutes. And you can, so the main thing is you're sitting on your heels. You're going to bring your knees wide apart, almost as wide as your mat. And then you're going to lower your body, resting your forehead on the ground. Relax your arms, relax your legs. If you need any padding under your knees, you can put a blanket underneath your knees. And again, we'll stay for 5 minutes, allowing your breath to become smooth and even. And for anyone who can't bear weight on the knees, you can actually do this pose on your back, just hugging your knees in towards your shoulders, towards your armpits. So you'll lay on your back, separate your knees wide apart, and hug them in towards your armpits. But be very light in how much you're pulling them in. Just hold them without trying to force a stretch. Okay, so slowly gather yourself up, and we're going to roll onto our backs and feel the rebound of the pose. So notice what you feel, what energy lines are opening up in your body as you rest here on your back. Okay, so let's go to our next pose. Our next Yin Yoga pose is going to be it's called Broken Wing Pose. And we'll do it for 3 minutes on each side. So I'm just going to adjust my mat a little bit. You're going to need space for your arms to be wide apart on your mat. So we'll start with the right side. So you'll lay on your right side and you're going to bring your arm out to the side. So let me show you the back so you can see this as well. Okay, so one of the ways that I come into this to make it easier is lay on the stomach, get all your props out of the way, and then you'll bring your arms wide apart on your mat. So my arms are flat, my hands are facing down, and I'm going to move the left hand in and then start to roll back. And then I like to bend my knees up and rest. Now, this is a very important time to remember the first principle of Yin, which is find an appropriate edge. So if you roll too far back, you're going to actually hurt the shoulder capsule. So what you do want to feel is just, it's pretty neutral. You'll feel just a little sensation, and remember that with Yin, because we're staying so long, less is more. Less is more. So being closer to the side of neutral sensation is better than deep, expansive stretch, okay? So let's do this for 3 minutes, and I will set the timer. And this camera angle doesn't really show this pose properly. It's kind of difficult to show. So I'm just going to show another view of it so you can see where my arm is and my shoulder position and all of that. Feel free to add any support between your knees, pillow for your head, whatever it is that you need for broken wing. Take slow, deep breaths. Connecting to the soft yin qualities. In fall, the qualities are letting go. And it's related to the metal element. The metal element is represented by precious gems like gold and silver, rose quartz, emeralds, what have you. And these precious gems are buried deep inside the earth. So the precious gems, the preciousness of life, is not always revealed to us until something is lost a lot of times. So through loss, we find appreciation. And we come to realize how precious certain people, certain things are to us. We all connect to that preciousness in our own unique way. And it's a good time in the fall to be aware of that, to be aware that the trees are falling, the leaves are falling from the trees. They're going back into the earth and turning into trace minerals that will later create new growth. So this loss, this autumn time, is all part of the process of life and of letting go, of storing our energy in the winter, of growth in the spring, and of our expansiveness and heat and energy of the summer. Okay, so let's come out of the pose, roll onto your belly, and for our rebound, you can either roll over onto your back. It might be easier to just lay on your belly and rest your forehead on your hands, feeling the rebound of that pose. You might notice some sensation in the right shoulder, the right arm. Okay, let's switch sides. So we'll do broken wing pose on the left side for 3 minutes. So bring your arms out in a T, arms flat, and gently roll backwards. So I'm going to roll onto my battery pack for my microphone, so I'll turn over for this. Finding that appropriate edge for you. So you may need to do less of a bend in your knees, more of a bend, lifting the knees up higher, and coming closer towards your chest instead of your shoulder. Breathe in inspiration. So the metal element is also about the qualities of the heavens. So the earth, not just the earth, but the sky. So that's the stars, the moon, all the heavenly bodies, and the heavenly energy flows down from the heavens into our bodies. And that's our inspiration. As we breathe in, our lungs take in energy. And as we exhale, we let go of stale, used up energy and the waste that's left over after our body takes in all the nutrients. So we let go. And that's the end of our 3 minutes. So let's slowly start to straighten the legs, move the body back to center, and let's go onto our backs. And feel the rebound of the broken wing. Notice the chi, the energy flow. Where do you feel sensation in your body? So our last Yin Yoga pose is going to be one of my favorites, banana asana. So for anyone that has really tight upper body, like neck and shoulders, I would suggest, if you have a bolster, putting that off your mat, at the end of your mat. You could also use blocks, if a block or 2 blocks if you don't have a bolster. I just know that the bolster is probably more comfy than the hardness of the block. So you can just imagine a block if you have a block. So for tight shoulders, your head is going to be on the ground in this pose, but we're going to be lifting our arms up over the head with opposite hand touching. So see how, for me, my arms will go flat on the ground. For other people with tight upper bodies, this is kind of going to be the stopping point, or it's going to feel really uncomfortable, and that would not be an appropriate edge. So to find an appropriate edge, you can bring this bolster up over, not on your head, but beyond your head, so that when your arms go back, they can land on that bolster. If you need more height, you could add blankets, blocks. Okay? Of course, we're going to be moving to the side, so you won't be able to position that bolster until we get to that point. So just have it there. And we're going to start with the whole body is straight. We're going to walk the feet, the heels, over to the right to an appropriate amount. So part of yin is discerning between what's appropriate for you and what's painful, what's going to cause pain. We don't want to cause pain. So I'm going to bring my feet over and then my arms up over the head, holding on to the elbows very softly, and then lift my head up and my upper body and bring that over to the right as well. So the heels are over to the right of the mat, and the feet can just splay out. You want to keep softness as your goal. Think of butter melting on toast. And this is a big side bend, so you'll feel sensation all the way up the side of your body, the waist, even into the lower back. If it's too much on your lower back though, feel free to modify by bending your knees. And we're going to stay in this pose for 3 minutes. So I will set our timer right now. And we're going to do some breathing, some square breath. So as you inhale, you're going to inhale to a count of 4. And then hold for 4 counts of breath. And then you'll exhale to a count of 4. And then hold the breath for 4. So inhale to 4 and hold and count 4. And then exhale, count to 4 and hold for 4. So inhale, count to 4. Pause for 4. And exhale to a count of 4. And pause for 4. And slowly, one piece at a time, come out of the pose, taking the arms down and bringing your shoulders back on top of your hips so your body is straight. And just take a moment to feel the rebound, the echo of Banana Asana. And then we'll take that to the other side, and we'll, if you'd like, you can continue with your square breath, breathing in for 4, holding for 4, breathing out for 4, and holding for 4. So let's take the feet one at a time, walk them over to the left side of your mat. Bring your arms up over your head, holding on to opposite elbows. Lift up your shoulders. Wiggle your upper body to the left, just as far as you can until you feel a little sensation. We're here for 3 minutes, so if you feel too much sensation in the beginning, you're going towards the side of pain, which we want to avoid. So find a position where you feel some opening on the right side. So it's not, you feel sensation, but it's not sensational. And we'll stay for 3 minutes. Inhaling for 4, holding for 4, and exhaling for 4, and then holding for 4. And release the pose, release the counting. Very slowly bring yourself back to the middle of your mat in Shavasana position. Feel the rebound of Banana Asana. Notice the chi and where it's flowing. It could be flowing up and down a certain area, circulating around a certain area. And we'll slowly bend the knees and roll to your side. And let's set up for Shavasana, final resting pose, which I would suggest doing in that supported fish pose. So we'll come back to the pose we started with. So you'll bring your bolster onto your mat. And I would suggest a blanket if you're wanting to add some warmth and comfort. And if your back is tender, because we have done a lot of heart openers, you can always do legs up the wall or just laying on your back with your knees bent for Shavasana. And we're going to stay in Shavasana for 5 minutes. And so allow your whole body to rest now. And I'm going to read you a poem while you rest back. This poem is called What to Carry With You by Clea Roberts. In August of the year that ruined and saved us, we ride toward autumn on the Fish Lake Road, the road that climbs to the tree line where the shrubs are small-leafed and hunkered down, because the eager wind is here, always, keeping the berries slow. Soon the lakes will ice, and the theater will open, and we'll know friends on Main Street only by the color and trim of their parkas. And in our homes, light will become finite and coveted as we resign ourselves to the tender clink of teapots retrieved from cupboards, and the atonement of wood popping and cracking in the fire. Slowly begin to deepen your breath. Wiggle your toes and your fingers. And gently reach your arms up overhead, stretching your whole body. Taking a big sigh as you lower your arms. And bend your knees and roll over to your side. Slowly making your way up into seated position. And bring your hands together at your heart in Anjali Mudra. Taking a moment of gratitude for all that sustains you, keeps you safe, keeps you calm. Sending a wish of loving kindness out to all beings. May all beings be happy, and may all beings be healthy. May all beings be safe. And may you be happy, healthy, and safe. Take a deep breath in. I honor the divine light within all of you. Namaste. Thank you so much for sharing this Yin Yoga practice for the metal element in autumn season. I hope you have a wonderful day. And if you like this video, please hit subscribe on this YouTube channel and look for more videos to come for my series members. Thank you so much for your practice this year and for being part of the community. Have a wonderful day.